Hello everyone and welcome! It is no news that the League community has been having mixed thoughts on the game lately. With the release of Overwatch, a game that is based on fun more than its competitive nature, it seems like more and more people realized that League is just not the game it used to be. It is not the game you just sit down to and have fun anymore. It is a game that most people play to prove others that they are good at it. And because of that, it is inevitable that people will eventually burn out, and to quote the previous king of gaming,
"No king rules forever, my son." I see.
Today I want to show you 5 features I always wanted from League of Legends, so let's get right into it. Number 5. Being the lore channel I am, I have to start the list with something every lore person wanted but never got. A real map. I have talked about this before and I have to mention it again. If you try to set up a good story, you need to have a map. Without the map you can name all the places you want, but because the people don't know where it all is, no one can put it in context. The map that everyone knows isn't actually official map. Riot has been talking about how they are working on it and how they are putting all the pieces together. That was 2 years ago. I am glad that after a long time they are finally pumping all the stories out, but without a map you can't feel the scale of the world. I want to share a story that came from the Blizzard headquarters. When Blizzard hired Chris Metzen, the first thing he did is that he brought a lot of paint into the office and he started painting the world map on a wall. And once they had all the places laid out in front of them, they could work on the interaction within their world. Number 4. The other big thing that everyone heard about so many times is the replay system. I don't want you to listen to something you have heard before, so I want to focus on why this is a huge problem. As a person that started playing StarCraft 2 before jumping onto League, I have to say that a proper replay system can double the speed at which you learn the game mechanics. After almost every match you lose in StarCraft, you would press a button and you would watch the match you just played to see where you did the mistake. On top of that, the game even has a feature where at any point during the replay, you can press a button and you will jump into the game, trying to find a solution and avoid the mistake. Of course, your opponent would be taken over by an AI, but the AI was so advanced that it could replicate the opponent's decisions. The reason why people don't use the third-party replays in League of Legends is because it is too much work to set up. I know it sounds dumb, but it is the truth. You can't just compare it to pressing one button. I still can't believe that the #1 video game that is based on learning the game mechanics still doesn't have a replay system. After 6 years, one would say that this is kinda ridiculous. Number 3. Seasonal maps. Those of you that played during the Season 2 will remember the joy of playing on a winter or Halloween Summoner's Rift. To some of you it may sound pointless, but let's be honest. This is exactly what made the game a bit more exciting. It gave you diversity and more importantly, it gave you the illusion that you are not playing the same game over and over and over and over again. To this day, I still don't understand why they decided to leave this idea behind. Giving minions a snow caps and changing their appearance won't do anything. It will hardly make you feel like you are in a different environment. What's weird to me is that if they are not doing it because it is too much work, what is Riot doing with their resources? Saying that they don't have enough resources to get an artist to spray some snow on Summoner's Rift is a lie. There are people that modded the maps for free. Number 2. Let me continue my previous thought. Yes, festive maps would be awesome as they were proven to be when they existed. But what I would love to see even more than that is entirely different maps. Imagine that one time you are playing on the Summoner's Rift and another time you are in Piltover. The layout of the map would be the same, only the theme would change. I remember that Riot once said that they didn't want to do it because they wanted every viewer on Twitch to immediately recognize League of Legends based on its visuals. That was not a good decision. Because of that, we got into the problem that is driving people away. Every game feels the same. I would love to go into a game without knowing where I would appear. Be it the old Summoner's Rift, Piltover, Freljord, or even before the walls of Noxus. A changing environment is something that would help Riot a lot. Number 1. And finally we arrive at the one thing I thought about 5 years ago, and now I can finally share it with you. PvE. I really believe that PvE is something that could have saved League of Legends long time ago. Of course, it wouldn't work the way we are all used to. Loot and character progression wouldn't exist. Imagine that you are put into a scenario where you can pick from a few chosen champions and you can team up with other players to go through a story of a champion. Imagine a scenario for 2 players. One picks Graves and the other picks Twisted Fate. And together you have to pull off the legendary heist of Piltover Bank. What about picking one of the ninjas and protecting the ninja order from Zed and his shadow invasion? And what about playing as one of the Ionian's warriors and battling against Noxian invasion? This is a feature that would do so much good for this game. It doesn't have to be balanced, since this would purely be for the story and for the fun. It could even have 2 modes, just like Hearthstone. Normal mode that would be for the story, and heroic that would be for the challenge. Riot, don't be afraid of breaking the PvP stereotype of the game. The fact that you have set up your game to be competitive PvP game only doesn't mean that you have to be that way forever. After all, League of Legends is a game that people play for fun. Yes, if you focus on the competitive side, you can turn it into a great sport. But without focusing on the casual part of the game, people will leave. If you guys have something else you would like to see in the game, don't be afraid of putting it down in the comments. If you have enjoyed this video, you know exactly what to do. If you feel like following me on Twitter or Facebook, that would be great. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and supporting me in this awesome journey called life. And as always, thank you, come again. So this is the second video that I've done while I'm away. If you follow me on Twitter or Facebook, you will probably notice, because I will probably I will probably put on few pictures so that you know where I am and what I'm doing, but I'll be back in a couple of days and then I'll be on to the big videos again. So one more shorter one after this one and then I'm back. So see you in the next one.